What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Box Out Boys podcast. We are the NBA podcast of the people, your home for lukewarm takes and substandard analysis. I'm Titus Two Shots Dominguez, and with me tonight is Chris Stats Man Gorman. Hit him with the stats, Chris.
Hey, I don't have a stat. I have. Did you guys hear that Kevin Durant admitted, according to Kevin O'Connor, Yahoo Sports, that he admitted to pushing for the Bradley Beal trade to Phoenix, and now he wants
I did not
out.
hear about this.
I don't think we're going to even talk about this tonight. I kept seeing. I've been following this stuff, and it's just insane Kevin Durant stuff. And he'll end up in Minnesota, and then I'll be like his biggest fan. But until then, he's just insane. It's just so crazy.
Curious how that would go if it landed in Minnesota. But also with us tonight, he's fielding calls from the New York Knicks. They've asked for permission to speak to him. It's Joy McCrosky. Get that, Joe.
Yeah, they have some pretty cool stripes on their floor, so
Yes.
they needed somebody to help paint the floor. Called me in. I denied their request, though.
We denied this request. We said you cannot speak
That's
to
right.
our boss. He is on our team. Oh, lots to talk about this week. Obviously, we're talking about the OKC Thunder taking winning Game 5 and taking a 3-2 lead in the NBA Finals on the precipice with Game 6 tomorrow in Indiana. We also got a blockbuster trade, not Durant yet, as we've all been speculating, but Desmond Bane traded to the Orlando Magic.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Wild stuff. We're going to talk about all the picks that went swapping. And then, of course, we're going to talk about the Knicks coaching search here, where apparently they're just searching other people's benches for a coach.
There's lots of fish in the sea.
Yeah, lots of fish in the sea, but they want your fish. Wild stuff from the Knicks. The Knicks are going to Knicks. But yeah, fun show tonight. And then, obviously maybe next week we'll do some draft stuff. So we'll see. All right. Game 5, J-Dub goes off 40 points, 31 from Shea with 10 assists. Halliburton only had 4. A little hobbled there in the second half. Pacers still made it a game, I believe, cutting it to 2. They're late in the fourth quarter, but it didn't matter. OKC just had a little too much for them. General thoughts on Game 5, guys. Did it kind of slip away there? Was this the one we thought, Indy could have propelled themselves? Obviously, winning that in OKC would have been huge. It did end up getting a little closer at times than I thought maybe a Game 5 was going to be, because it did feel like for moments there in the first half like it could get blown wide open. But Joey, what do you think, man? Game 5.
Yeah, it's absolutely the one that got away. Pacers bench outscores them 41-27. If they got any sort of semblance of Tyrese Halliburton, as a normal version of himself, this game is probably going a different way. Also, I think if you don't have I know if you don't have those boneheaded turnovers late in the fourth quarter, mostly from Andrew Nembhard, he luckily they're a favorite, or their fans very much favorite this team. There's not a lot of hate towards them, but he would definitely be the villain, I guess you would say, from the Pacers here. It got sloppy. Halliburton, like you said, was hobbled. It got so bad, not so bad, but at one point they had Tony Bradley in. He played 12 minutes in this game, which was just weird to see. Yeah, he was a positive on the floor. It was +2. But the real story from the Pacers is everybody's questioning is why didn't you leave in TJ McConnell? Why didn't you, when you saw Halliburton was hobbled, why didn't you make that swap again and take him out? I'm guessing they didn't know how bad Halliburton's injury was. TJ McConnell is kind of a give it everything in short spurts kind of player. I don't know if you can trust him for the long run, but they're going to have to figure it out, because I'm guessing tomorrow night is a little bit of Halliburton's going to try and give it a go, see how much he can give you in a few minutes. And if he doesn't have it, you're going to have to go digging deep early on. But definitely the one that got away. They limited everybody but Jalen Williams, right? Shea got his normal. Everybody else was pretty mediocre. They just weren't expecting him to go for 40. And the thing was, his 40 was easy. It wasn't a super hard 40. He didn't have to fight for it. He didn't get punished for it. It wasn't a lot of 3-pointers. It was a lot of back cuts, a lot of layups, a lot of work at the rim. So they're going to have to correct that. They're going to have to figure that out and slow him down. Back, he's back home, so there's a chance. But it's starting to feel like that was the one that turns the tide completely.
Yeah, Chris, what did you think, man?
It was a great game until about
was.
8 minutes left. It was 95-93, and then I'm pulling up we had turnover by Nemhard, which was like the weirdest turnover. He like turned around to try to give the ball back. It was an unforced turnover.
Yeah.
And then turnover by Nemhard, turnover by Halliburton, turnover by Nemhard, turnover by Halliburton. Before you know it, it's 111-97. 14-point game with 5 minutes to go. It's just in 4 minutes, the game basically became out of reach.
Yeah.
I think this is one of the benefits of being a small market and being on a network that was more interested in, playing solitaire than actually watching the game, is that Nemhard did not get blasted nearly as much as he should have for that performance in those moments, right? If this was anybody, if this was Alex Caruso, even on OKC, I feel like he would have been lambasted for it, because there's just some guy that's pretty good on Indiana. He didn't get half. Memphis got a worse rap this week than Andrew Nemhard. Nemhard deserved the bad rap. Well, not Memphis. Yeah. Memphis is great. So that was awful to see that from a game 5. I was bummed out because it felt like another thing where, oh my gosh, Indiana could really get this in 6.
Yeah.
But props to SGA and Jalen coming through. It's so weird. 40 points for Jalen Williams. He's in this crazy territory. There's a tweet I saw that was like, Jalen Williams has more 40-point finals games than your favorite player. And it's like, that's true, because whose favorite player is Jalen Williams? So good job by them. And the craziest thing about this team is Chet was bad. From a box plus minus standpoint, 4-15 in this game. And so game score of 4, not great. Usually like a 30 or 20 game score. Anyways, OKC, man. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you're right. It did feel like it just felt like maybe Indy was going to do it again when they started having that little push. Obviously, TJ was, I think I messaged you guys during the game, TJ, for finals MVP. Yeah, he was. I was starting to, we need to have a serious talk about this here for a second if they were to pull this off. And
Halliburton also had 0 field goals. How did I not say that?
Right, yeah.
That was the other part of this.
I knew it was 0 in the first half.
Again, benefit of being a small market. We all forgot that Halliburton had 0 field goals in this game. We were calling him a superstar like 3 days ago prior to this. So
overrated.
Oh yeah. Now here the overrated comes back. No, it still felt like there was going to be some energy to it, and then just Halliburton, kind of to your point, Joey, Halliburton he wasn't himself, and that's who they kind of needed to maybe make something happen when it got stagnant, and then that run of turnovers just killed them. It killed all the momentum of the game, because Chris, you were right. It was a great game. I was I was locked in at that point, and I'm going, I can't believe we're having another nail biter. It's going to come down to, because I kind of thought going into it, all right, OKC's probably going to blow this one out a little bit, and then we're going back to Indiana with can they force a game 7? I mean, obviously we're still doing that, but no Halliburton or an injured Halliburton might change the equation there. But it just felt like it was going to be another fantastic finish, and then you just had the meltdown from Indy, or basically, OKC just kind of took it. And I think they almost, in my opinion, maybe took the championship right there. That was maybe their ceiling moment. Obviously, still a couple games left in the series if they can't get it done in Indy, but that might have been the moment of them stepping up and saying, all right, we're not going to let you guys, get this ball past the 3-point line, turnover. We're up 14 and it's a wrap.
What's striking too is the Pacers were only outscored by 3 points in the fourth quarter.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It felt like it was so lopsided. So what'd you say, Chris? It was a 2-point game at one point, right? It was a 2-point game.
95-90 quarter. 95-93.
95-93. So they had fought back by a ton, and that run just they gave it all back almost immediately, which is just it's tough.
That's tough.
Tough. And
that's and
Benedict Mathurin going 2 of 11 from the field doesn't help either.
Hey,
He scores over 20. They seem to win.
Yeah. That one did feel like that was maybe the first time where like OKC kind of like flexed his muscle a little bit. I think we've been all series long, people have been saying OKC's like the better version of Indiana. They're very similar teams, I guess, in the style of they're very deep. They have a lot of defenders, a lot of offensive players. But that OKC finally was like, nope, we're the favorite, and they showed everybody why they were there and why they could really win this title here. So
when Aaron Wiggins getting 4 threes off the bench, another bench guy getting 4+ 3-point makes, like just OKC's got all of their guys that can do. Case on Wallace had 3, Caruso's had a game with 5. It's just nuts what this team can do.
They're solid up and down.
15 steals from OKC.
So stupid.
Just
That's
take
a
that
lot.
from them. That's a lot.
That's tough.
That's a lot.
I think as they say on ESPN, that's a lot of steel. Oh man, but yeah. All right, guys, looking into game 6 here though. We don't really know what's going on with Halliburton as of yet, as of the recording of the pod. Calf strain rumors going around. At least that's what I saw. I'm kind of got the playoff central here up on the screen on the monitor. If Halliburton is 50%, 60%, can the Pacers force a game 7 here, Chris? What do you think, man?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
I like it.
He went over 6 in this game. Halliburton had
Yeah.
the worst game of any superstar number 1 player on a team in this playoffs. It feels like, right? That's
a tough game.
They proved that they can be pretty good without him. If Nembhard can at least step up a little bit more, I mean, we're gonna have to expect McConnell to do what he did in this game, which was just
he's
insane.
been balling though. So
Joey mentioned Tony Bradley. He did good in those 12 minutes. I know he's kind of an aloof, but like having him out there, he was a positive, like you mentioned, +2. So Obi Toppin needs to get his shit turned around. He had a -16 in this game. So hey, if Tyrese is only half the man he normally is, I honestly believe the Pacers can still win this. Every single game has been a lot closer than I think anybody had expected this entire series. And every single time OKC wins, it's just then people will say, all right, that's it. They're going to win this series. And then Indiana comes back.
Yep.
And it's like going into game 6. I had OKC in 7. I feel like a genius right now where I'm just like, oh, now we're going into game 6 and they're going to lose because they want to win it at home. That's exactly what they're going to do. I'm still standing by that right now from what I said 2 weeks ago. So
it's all coming true for Chris.
That's right.
Now.
Just Nostradamus over here.
Nostradamus. Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to say it too.
Nostradamus.
Nostradamus. That's great. Joey, I mean, do you think they can force a game 7 here? Are you calling it like Chris did 2 weeks ago? Are we getting a game 7? Or are we on the pod next week talking about a championship?
Well, we've made some calls on other things. We said game 3 was probably going to go Indiana's way. We thought they were going to get the boost of the crowd. They seemed to do that.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get the boost of the crowd again. I do think, though, this is probably the end of the road for them. If Halliburton's half of what he is, or 50% better than what he was, he gets you 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That doesn't move.
Can he give you a 12? 12 swings the game, technically. They lost by 11.
Could he give you 12?
Yeah. Well, that would be 8 points. So they still lose that game.
I guess 6 field goals.
I'm concerned that, like, if TJ McConnell is what you have to rely on, like, he's good downhill, right, scoring, but like he's not running your offense. Like, is he getting you into kind of sets and everything? So, they've relied on being Cinderella. They feel like they may have like used up all of their magic, right? Their thing was, we get close in the fourth quarter, we keep it close, we find a way to eke out wins. They've now not been able to do that twice. So it seems like maybe they've kind of figured out. And like you said, OKC has started to flex their muscle a little bit. Halliburton's he's the big wild card, right? And if it's a calf strain, it's, do you put him in and do you try and get him at 50% and risk an Achilles tear, because that's typically what happens when the calf is issue, right?
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, all those guys had calf issues. Damian Lillard, all calf issues. Do you take that risk? I know it's the finals and it's game 6, but like if he's not giving you anything early and he's not looking like himself, you're probably not going to run that. So I think OKC gets it done on the road. And if you're OKC, you're not messing around. Like maybe going home and winning is fun, but I don't know.
Yeah, you don't want to win or take all.
This team that's done some crazy shit already this season and postseason, like, do you want to give them the chance to get you in game 7? Like, it doesn't take much to win. One guy gets hot and it's all over. So I think you're going to get balls to the wall Shea, and you're probably going to get something pretty downhill and probably not very fun to watch. But I think you're going to get a lot of Shea in the paint and a lot of Shea getting to the free throw line.
I'm with you, Joey. I do think they get it done. I mean, I gotta stop doubting Indy, but at this point, without Halliburton 100%, if it was Halliburton 100%, I think I would be with Chris and going, look, I think we're going 7. It just feels like this series needs a 7th game. I do kind of agree with you, Joey. I do think they get it done. I think it might become a blowout. I think it'll be Indy early, right? They're going to be early, and if they can withstand that early Indy run, the energy from the crowd, I think they can maybe take it out of them a little bit. If they can then go, let's say by the end of the first quarter, middle of the second, they're up double digits, and it's starting to look like this thing's, this thing could slide. I think it might slide. We might finally see Indy throw in the towel, but I don't know. I really don't know. I think
the spin is that they fall asleep at the wheel. Halliburton's not playing, and they think they can do this, and for some reason they get caught off guard. But that would be pretty shocking to happen. That'd be pretty shocking to see happen in game 6 of the finals, that a team decides they can throw in the towel kind of thing. So,
yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, definitely an exciting game tomorrow night. We might be crowning a champion. So OKC's first ever title as the OKC Thunder. So
series has definitely been better than I think we all expected.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be a blowout, and it really wasn't at all. So,
and what's weird is even
what I expected.
The games that, like games 2 and 3 and 5 were not super close, but they had their moments where they were close. So it kind of kept you intrigued.
Yeah.
Nobody ever really got too far away.
Yeah. And the series overall was just kind of back and forth, ups and downs. So It was fun.
It is fun.
It is fun. Well, switching gears here, you're trying to think of how we can switch this. Was this fun for you guys to see the Desmond Bane trade? I know there was Giannis, Durant, all these rumored names in the offseason here, and the first one we get is Desmond Bane from Memphis going to the Orlando Magic for the 16th pick in the 2025 draft, a 28 and a 30 unprotected picks, first-round picks for Orlando. The 26th pick swap with either Phoenix or Washington. Supposedly that's the juicy one because of Phoenix. And then a pick swap in 29, which is top 2 protected. And KCP, I believe, right?
Yes.
And the Tim's dude.
Yeah, Tim's.
Cole Anthony.
Cole Anthony. Players, I think that this feels about the Tim's dude. This feels about the picks. A lot of picks. A Gobert, Bridges kind of haul there for them.
We're gonna get a full team on this almost.
Yeah, I mean, this is insane. Chris, we'll start with you. Wild trade. What were your thoughts when you heard it come across the wire? You shared it to our group, I believe, this time.
I did. I got to be the Joey. I was excited. It wasn't
Shams Joey. It was exciting.
What day was that? What day?
Father's Day.
It was Father's Day. Oh,
I was mowing the lawn.
Just enjoying his Father's Day mow. He couldn't
be bothered. I might have been fishing, actually. It was one or the other.
He's doing Father's Day stuff.
I don't like trades where you give up an offensive smaller player for a bunch of pieces. It kind of worked out for Cleveland, I guess, with Donovan Mitchell. They got a lot of wins in the regular season. But I just feel like more often than not, it doesn't bode well. I think if this happened like 2 or 3 years ago, people would have been like, "What? This is crazy." But because we've been seeing Gobert, Michael Bridges, all these other trades happen, they're just like, oh, Desmond Bane, yeah, that kind of. I mean, the picks are going to be in the 20s, right? Orlando's
Yeah.
going to be good,
Yeah.
of course. It's a good. I kind of don't like the trade.
Oh.
No, I shouldn't say that. Sorry, I like the trade. I think I'm still just annoyed that people hated the Gobert trade so much. It's good. It worked out so freaking well, but it all came back to that. But like, really, I like the trade. I like it for both teams. So here, I like it for Orlando because they finally get their weapon. KCP only shot 4 threes a game, and then he came to Orlando and kept doing that. Bane at least shoots like 8 on average. Last year was 6, but the year before was 8.6. So maybe get back to that, maybe 9, maybe even 10 a game. He's gonna have to shoot basically all of the threes for that team. I like this for Memphis. I don't think they're gonna blow it up like I've been seeing a little bit. KCP is a serviceable piece for this offense. Cole Anthony is a great 2-guard backup, especially with Scottie Pippen Jr. It'll be interesting to see what they do there. Memphis can just retool with that, and they got some more draft flexibility now too. So this is a win-win. Like
a win-win. I like Chris is very positive about this. Joey, what were your thoughts initially, and then kind of how you feel about the trade?
All right, I'm gonna big brain this. Okay.
Oh, here we go. Big brain.
This is the perfect tightest trade.
Okay. All right. I like
this is the Magic saying we are super close to making this work. We've got the superstar, we've got the sidekick, we've got the defense. The only thing we're missing is useful 3-point shooting and getting the numbers up.
Threat.
They're looking at the landscape. They're saying the Bucks aren't in it. The Celtics aren't in it with Tatum down for the season, right? Lillard's out, Tatum's out. So we're competing against the Knicks, who are in flux with the coach, and we're competing with Cleveland if you believe that they can repeat what they did. So in my mind, this is Orlando saying,
and Indy maybe.
Yeah, we're probably not one piece away in a normal season with, the big dogs being what they should be. But in a season that could have some turmoil and some fluctuations, maybe this is a season we're one piece away from having an Indy-like run, an unexpected run to the finals. So from that standpoint, I think they kind of got it right. It's weird to think that you would mortgage that much of your future for this one shot. To me, though, that says they probably realize where they're at long term is they're kind of,
this is their
they're not top of the East if everybody's healthy. They're not bad enough to keep getting draft picks. So it's let's go in now. And if it doesn't work, then we'll reshuffle, we'll retool and we'll live with the consequences. But from that standpoint, I kind of like it. I think it's risky.
Yeah.
But if it pays off with a 1 or 2 seed and they win 60 games, 55 games, if they win 60 games, obviously you're saying win. If they win 55 games, you're probably saying this was a trade for the better.
Yeah. I mean, certainly an all-in move, I guess, like to your point there. I like it. Like you said, it's my kind of trade. You explained it perfectly. If you look at the landscape, you got to know when to take your shot, and Orlando knows that they can take a shot here next season because Indy just got to the finals. Everyone, they just got there. It's going to be wide open next year. I don't think there's a prohibitive favorite other than maybe Cleveland, I guess. But even then, they lost in the second round, so who knows? But yeah, I think it'd be fun. I'd love that it's a shot, and I do love the Memphis piece. Like what Chris was saying, a lot of cost-controlled guys here. You can really retool around Ja and Triple J. And, I think I was maybe thinking a blow-up initially. That was my initial reaction. Like, oh, my God, is this a blow-up? And then the more you think about it, you go, all right, well, they have a lot of draft capital. They can make another move if they need to. Or they can just go, all right, let's just draft smart. We've been drafting smart for years. Look how many of these guys we've drafted. And let's just fill in the holes where we need them around John Triple J. Let's go. I like it. Win-win.
They were a 2 seed at one point, right? Like,
yeah,
they were kind of pretty good.
2 years.
I like the thing about the the Pacers made it to the finals. Like, how many teams are saying that? Like, even the Bulls are almost being like, the Pacers.
The Pacers made it. Every team should be saying this.
Giddy gets like Halliburton.
Giddy's like Halliburton, right?
Kind of is.
Kobe White. I mean,
Shit,
he kind of
yeah.
is.
He actually kind of is.
Yeah, he actually kind of is. It's not that crazy.
Yeah, a tall, lanky guard who doesn't shoot the 3-ball well, but sometimes
Yeah.
is okay.
There was a stat. I should have used this as my opening stat. The
Clutch,
Orlando
clutch.
Magic have not had a plus 20 offensive rating since 2012. So, like,
That's
Dwight
a
Howard,
long
end of
time.
Dwight Howard.
yeah, like with Rashard Lewis and Hito Turkoglu.
Yeah, so that was like the
last
4
time
out Dwight.
Yeah, that's the last time they had an offensive rating over 20 or a top 20 in the league. There's only 30 teams, guys. Like they're always bottom 10.
Yeah, they're bottom 10.
Like they were, they're like a top 2 or 3 defense last year, and they have been in the past. But
well, they're probably looking at OKC as like their model of, hey, look at OKC's defense. If we can just get some other offense around Paolo and he can kind of be our Shea. Yeah, they're huge, and they're probably thinking the same thing. Like, all right, if this guy just spreads the floor enough where they have to respect him, and they do, he's a great shooter. Why can't we? Why can't we go?
The only criticism of this would probably be if they would have waited a little bit after the draft or kind of seen where everything shook out. Was Desmond Bane the best option? Like, if they were willing to give up the picks that they did, could they have made calls elsewhere and plucked a similar player?
That's a good question. Like
maybe not similar, but a better player for that kind of.
Is this where you wanted to bring in Kobe White into the conversation? I'm trying to think who else.
Kobe. I mean, there's I don't know other players. They're out there. I haven't looked at it deeply, but like
players out there.
Well, you think about it, right? If you would have said, "Hey, we're going to give up 4 first-round picks for Desmond Bane," everybody would laugh and say that's ridiculous, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would say what I said. Like when I saw it, like that's a lot. That seems like a lot of picks, but at the same time,
I was looking at top 3-point field goals and 3-point attempts last year. Tyler Hero. I'm trying to go down this list. Jalen Green, Anthony Simons, Austin Reeves.
No.
Malik Beasley, but healed. Bane's, I don't know, but it is a lot. To your point, Joe, you're giving up a lot for it. But like Bane's kind of the.
We don't know. I mean, maybe they didn't make the calls. Maybe they did look and they just got shot down. But
because I wonder if there really is a better fit for them. You know what I mean? And maybe they were looking at for somebody who can really just be, because they do have 2 primary ball handlers.
Yeah.
In Franz and Paolo, and maybe there's just, hey, we just need a guy who could just fill it up from deep, and is not a defensive liability, and let's go. You know what I mean?
It almost seems like one of those, like when you joke around when somebody asks you if you can help them move or do a favor for them, and they're like, "Oh, how much will it cost me?" And you're like, "Oh, you give it like an absurd number, assuming they're going to be like, yeah, never mind then." It's like the Magic call. They're like, "Hey, what would it cost? It doesn't bid." Like, oh, 4 first-round picks. And they were like, okay, sure, deal. Like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, sure. Let's get that paperwork started right away.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give us Cole Anthony, and we'll be.
Throw those guys in there. We're fine.
Yeah.
We're fine.
It's fine. No, I think you're right, man. I think it was just a really good offer, and Memphis couldn't say no to that. I mean, that'd be crazy to say no to that and just go, all right, let's do it. And
Memphis, the definite winner right now. Orlando will be the winner if this is the piece they needed. It's the key.
I mean, let's not forget they were pushing Boston in that series.
Mm-hmm.
That was a tough series for Boston, and that's probably what they're thinking too. Yeah, like, hey, a couple things go differently. Maybe they're talking about beating Boston in the first round. So, they're like, hey, if we get some shooting around here, then the Knicks beat Boston. So how far away are we?
Hit some threes for a change.
Fair enough.
I mean, Indy's in the finals, guys. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Is that
it's all relative?
Just the motto going forward. Indy made the finals, guys. They were 2 wins away. That's crazy.
The other thing I keep hearing is you talk about X team, they're really young. They still have some time to grow. And you look at OKC and Jalen Williams is 24, Chet is 23. It's these guys are younger than these other teams that we're calling young. It's just it's scary.
Yeah, I think you're right too, to that point of maybe the writing's on the wall of OKC's not getting any worse. We got to go now. and hurry up. So, but yeah, interesting move from them. I love it. We'll see what other dominoes fall. Obviously, the draft coming up too, and things will likely get crazy. But the other main topic we had here tonight, the New York Knicks fired Tom Thibodeau. And then I guess there's really just no other way to put it here, but proceeded to call everyone who currently has a coach and ask them if they could talk to their coach. Jason Kidd, Chris Finch, Ime Udoka, Billy Donovan called as well. All obviously turned down. And apparently the Knicks are now
Quinn Snyder.
in the process. Quinn Snyder, yes, are in the process of. Don't forget him. In the process of interviewing Taylor Jenkins, the former Memphis coach, and Mike Brown, the former Kings coach. Joey, your thoughts on that situation? Was that just the wildest Knicks thing here to happen in a while?
It's got to be one of the most embarrassing things for a front office. Like, obviously Nico Harrison still takes the cake for that in this calendar season, but like most teams, when they go through the process of firing a coach, even at the end of a season, like hey, if they don't make a certain number, they don't make a certain round or whatever happens, like we're moving on, right? You have that internal conversation. You have your list of targets. Most of them usually are not active coaches of other teams, unless something has gone terribly wrong. So for them to go out and I don't even know if they I don't know how it leaks, but for them to go out and let it be known that they asked 5 active head coaches, teams for interviews, and not just Billy Donovan would be like the one that you wouldn't balk at the most, right? You'd be like, all right, well, middling team, but Jason Kidd, I guess maybe that one too, but Chris Finch, what? Yeah. Okay, they're not just going to move on. Ime Udoka, no, that's not gonna work. Quinn Snyder, he just got there 2 years ago. You're going and asking teams. It doesn't make any sense. It looks really bad. It looks like they had zero plan and they just made a knee-jerk reaction based on how the season ended and what they heard from their players in the media, and they just kind of said, "Shit, Tibbs is gone, and we're the Knicks, so people are going to be interested in coming and being our coach." It's bad. The one article I was reading, and to bring it back to the Bulls, like I always do, is you can hate Gar Forman and Pax and AK and all these guys, but at least when they've moved on from coaches, they went and got the guy they wanted, right? When they went and got Fred Hoiberg, he was awful and terrible, but they didn't embarrass themselves in the search part. They got embarrassed by the hire.
Yeah.
But even that front office was cognizant enough to know that if we're going to move on from Tibbs, we're going to go opposite. We're going to go for, a player friendly, whatever kind of coach. We're going to go Fred Hoiberg. And they went and got him.
They weren't like, "Hey, Spoelstra, what are you doing? Miami, can we talk to this guy?"
Right. From a front office that we know and think very low of, that's saying a lot when you say that their search process is better than the New York Knicks.
Yeah. Chris, your thoughts on this?
It's weird. It's just weird.
It's just weird. Yes.
I have
your coach
was
talking
on this. I saw something, I can't remember where. But I think there's a conspiracy that they want to hire Rick Brunson as the head coach.
Ooh,
I was looking into it. He actually has more pedigree to become a head coach than I thought. It's not just he's been the assistant in New York for the last 3 years. He was an assistant for the Timberwolves in 16 to 18. He's in the Bobcats for years with the Bulls from 2010 to 2012. He's got experience, and he's probably well liked amongst the key players on that team, right?
You would imagine
if there's a guy that's going to take that job that the players would like, he's probably near the top.
Players or player,
right? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's it. That's all. I don't know. It's dumb. Taylor Jenkins and Mike Brown, they're just more big names.
Yeah.
For this team. I thought they were going to hire that assistant coach and just be boring, but now I think about maybe it's even weirder than that. We've seen weird things happen. Rick Brunson, man, he'll be the head coach.
It's just wild. It does feel like they had no plan. They were like, okay, Thibodeau's not our guy. Fine. But there was just no, okay, we think we need this. Here's what we should do. It was just let's go ask all these other teams for their coach. That was the plan. Like, this is your plan. Let's go ask everybody else. Hey, how you doing, Billy Donovan? Do you think we could talk to him? We're the Knicks. Yeah, and then like, what is that? Like, what is that? Like, all right, yeah, well, Minnesota, here, we're gonna talk to your coach because we can poach him away. Can we do that? No, you can't talk to him. What did they think was gonna happen? Everybody's
Yeah,
gonna
what
go,
are you
yeah,
going
go
to give
ahead.
me? What are you offering?
Yeah, what are you offering?
You just want him?
You just want to just sign him?
know.
I mean, come on,
It
you talk about
must have
Jason
been
Kidd.
scary, though. It must have been scary for some of these teams to just think that their coach is going to get poached.
Yeah, I
The
guess.
Bulls are extending Billy Donovan right now, so
Yeah, they're like, don't worry about it, Billy. We got you.
scared him.
I mean, come on, Jason Kidd swallow that kettle of crap over there. You think he's gonna walk away? They're gonna have him walk away?
Can you guys think of a time this has ever happened? Like, I can't think of any
Not this
sport.
aggressively.
It's usually like in like football, right? Is the one you always hear the most where they have to go request interviews.
Yeah. Like
But
an
it's always
assistant or
with, like,
something.
It's
Yeah.
always with the assistant. It's
Yeah.
always like an offensive coordinator or whatever.
Yeah.
It's never like, hey, can we talk to Bill Belichick? Or
Yeah.
we're
He
interested.
seems good.
Yeah, he seems like a good guy. Can we talk to him? It just doesn't make any sense.
It just doesn't. And like you said, really to sum it up, it's just embarrassing. It's embarrassing for the Knicks. And after kind of the season that they had, where they had this really good run, I don't know, man. I just felt like it took some of the wind out of their sails going into next season. So we'll see what happens, see who they hire. And
I mean, would you rather be Orlando or New York right now going into the next season? Probably Orlando, right? Like
Orlando. Young,
probably, yeah, young,
exciting.
defensive.
You did something.
Yeah. Defensive oriented.
I like it. You know what I mean? I don't know. The Knicks just feels like it might have run its course, but I don't know. They still have a bunch of good players, so they're still going to be good next year. It's just, can they get it together? Now you're talking about, all right, last year they kind of rearranged the team, and then now you're going to have a new coaching philosophy. It just doesn't feel like that's the smartest move in the world, but they're the Knicks.
No.
All right. Anything else tonight, boys, or I'm going to maybe wrap it up?
Let's wrap. Any draft?
Any draft? I still.
Your queen? Anyone? We'll talk next week. I think
the draft is next Wednesday. I was going to talk to you guys. Maybe we could do it off pod, but what about a live draft show on Wednesday? We just kind of get together.
We can do some
watch
of that.
the show.
Maybe do it until we'll see how long it takes, but like the Bulls pick 10th.
Yeah, maybe do it through the Bulls pick. There you go.
Maybe if it's going really well, the Timberwolves are 16, so we can
see how
17?
fast it's going.
Yeah, we'll just see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. 17, we could knock back a few drinks, just shoot the shit, talk draft. I like it. So we'll probably have a live show next week. We'll talk about it on pod. Modelo's for all. There we go. The Modelo draft show. That's what we should do. We should do the draft show brought to you by Modelo, even though we're not sponsored by Modelo.
They don't know it. They don't know they're sponsoring our pod.
All right. I love this. I love this for us. It's going to be sponsored by Modelo. The first ever Box Out Boys Modelo draft show. Hey, Modelo draft. This works on so many good levels here.
Yes, we can dispel it like,
oh, guys, this is great. This stuff writes itself. Chris is like, I don't know if we can do this, guys, but it's fine. All right,
I'll talk to legal.
We'll talk to legal. Yeah, we'll talk to our legal department, and we'll see what they say.
Chris is our legal department.
Yeah, Chris, can we do this? Yeah, it's a gray area.
It's great. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
It's probably fine.
It's probably fine. We'll be fine. Let them see us in court. I was watching A Few Good Men before the pod, so I'm excited for a court battle.
Solid prep work.
Solid prep work. I was doing prep work, and it was in the back. I was like, you know what? I kept getting sucked in, but it's all right. Well, that is it for us tonight. Follow us at social media at the Box Out Boys. Slide in those DMs. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review on YouTube and Spotify and TikTok. Check us out. See what we're thinking. And we very much appreciate that. So until next time, for the boys, a couple whiskeys deep, box out. I'll get to it.